Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 13th meeting of the Dublin Worthington Rotary Club. For those that don't know, my name is Teresa Russell. I'm club president this year. And I'm going to have Wynn Wixel lead us off in the invocation and the pledge.
Let us pray. We come together as concerned citizens and as Rotarians today with thoughts of the national wars and unrest that exist. Help us to be with the spirit that will enable us to participate as good Rotarians and citizens. We are troubled, please be with us. We do thank you for being and giving us the blessings of the past summer and fall to date, blessings of health, good fortune, and well-being. We hope that where our spirits are low, that you will walk with us even more closely. Thank you for the food we have before us. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag and justice for all.
Thank you. And anybody that has announcements, please come forward. But prior to that, Steve, do you have a guest you would like to announce and introduce us to?
Yes, we do have a guest today, Lisa Federico, joining us. She's potentially interested in joining our ranks. She is from Linworth. She just started a new magazine called City Lifestyle. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nope, Northwest Columbus City Lifestyle is focused on the Worthington, Linworth, and Lewis Center areas. And it's a pleasure to be here, so thanks for having me.
You have a guest to announce.
My guest is my husband, Glenn.
Welcome. And I'm going to have the great pleasure of having our district governor with us, David Yule. Will you please stand? Everybody please stand. Our speaker will be introduced in a moment. Anybody with announcements? Okay, Don.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, that's what it was. I've been drinking too much. So the bourbon, we are 50 days left. We've only raised 6,550, but I think we're just getting started. And one of the things I wanted to show everybody is how to share it to Facebook. And so if we go to the Bourbon Raffle website.
Is this a get out your phones now exercise?
You could. I will donate $5 if somebody can tell me what website I need to go to. RotaryBourbonRaffle.org. There it is.
Do I get the $5?
No, I don't even have a pot. Actually, you can go to the foundation if you want it.
And a zero will be kind of good. Lead by example, sir.
Yes. Oh, believe me, I have. Okay, so you go to RotaryBourbonRaffle.org. If you're not over 21, lie and hit yes. I shouldn't say that. That doesn't pass the 4-way test. All right, so this is the raffle page. Very well graphic, looks lovely. You can see that we've raised $6,550 and there's 50 days left. If you haven't bought tickets, while you're here, go ahead and buy 3. But if you keep scrolling down to the share this fundraiser, so there is a little Facebook button here, and if you click that, it will ask you to log into your Facebook account. If you're doing it from your regular computer, you might already be logged into your Facebook account. And so at that point, it will have already crafted a post for you, and you just have to hit share. And then it will go out to all of your friends and families and strangers. And that's it. That's my announcement. Oh, wait.
Is the break even point then 22,000?
No, it's closer to like 30,000. Yeah, so last year we raised 37,000 and netted about 8,900. I think we can double that this year, even though it seems like we're off to a slow start. We're still ahead of where we were last time we did this, so I think momentum will really build.
Done just before the close.
Yeah, Alan.
Steve, I think it was really great to send out that email that you did because it made it easy for us, and I just sent it to 24 people who have a longer life expectancy than I do.
Yeah, you should have seen an email come from me yesterday. If you didn't, let me know, I'll resend it. Alan.
Steve, if somebody sees it on Facebook, can they just share it that way?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. And if you want to tag people in the post and share it, the wider the better. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Here's several announcements here today. First, you should each have on your tables a flyer for Socktober. This is a district project, and it's an opportunity for every Rotarian to do something that has a small impact on you, but a big impact on somebody that needs it. Okay. What we're asking is that we can donate one pair of adults or children's socks. We're not talking about fancy dress socks. We're talking about the kind of socks that someone can wear every day during the cold months. And they will be donated to homeless people. I'm also going to make an additional request. I'd like for everyone here to, if you could, to donate at least one pair of socks, because we want to have one per member. And think about donating two, because it'd be nice to have one for every member. And we know we won't have 100% participation even when we try. So at the next two club meetings, October, please bring in a pair of socks and we'll send you an email with reminders and further instructions. Secondly, a community service committee normally meets on the third Monday, which would be the 16th. This month, because of when our normal meeting place, which is Courtney Chapman's home, being available on Tuesday rather than on Monday, we're going to move the meeting to Tuesday at 6:30 at Courtney Chapman's home. And the third thing, just a reminder, October 21st, we are having our Dublin and Worthington Food Pantry drive. We have a lot of people signed up. We're at a point where if you haven't signed up, please eat, or if you need to change something, I talked to someone today who might have to change their schedule. Please email Andrew Stenholz, our project chairman, and let him know if you're adding yourself or deleting yourself. It'll be going from 9 to noon, and you can do half shifts. In other words, you do like the 9 to 10:30 or the 10:30 to noon shift. If the full 3-hour shift doesn't fit into your schedule. It is an OSU home game, but because they're playing Penn State, it for sure will be an afternoon or evening.
No, it's at noon.
Is it at noon? Well, we're sorry about that, because they usually, if you're playing a top appointment like that, it's going to be an afternoon or evening game, but maybe that's a reason for you to do the early shift. That's important to you. But anyway, we appreciate those that already signed up, and please consider signing up for one of those locations if you haven't already. Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe Don has a couple of links to Amazon if you want to order the socks for October on Amazon. Don, will you be emailing those out?
Yeah.
Perfect. I already ordered mine. I got 100 pairs of socks for $34. Not very hard to do. So, moving on, we have a sergeant. Michael.
Did he know you started?
Yeah, I didn't even get an email.
Really? Yes, you did.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna wait. I smell a heart coming.
I know. Does it make any difference? Hey, that's okay. I got this.
You're gonna pick on Terry the Cod.
I got this. Who's that? I hear John yelling at me, so John, come up here and grab that pot and knock it on that. Hey, I was just wondering. When anybody else out here that moaned and groaned, you go around all this day,
I think you're gonna be collecting some dollars, but I heard some moaning and groaning out
So
there.
it does make a difference.
So, and for my absence of mind, go ahead, go around and get all the sergeants because they should have warned me ahead of time that I was a sergeant today. So Ken Carey, and I know Peggy's out there. See, I told you I could come up with something. I could take care of this crowd. And I see some real characters out there.
I think you did this backwards. I think you should be.
I did do this backwards. And then while you're out there, John, can I get any happy dollars out there? I know we have some happy dollars. Oh, right here we got one. How's it?
I'm happy to be back from the 2-week Rhine River cruise. It was wonderful. Biking is top notch and
Awesome.
happy.
Yeah, get $2 since he didn't volunteer to take anybody with him in my crowd. Anybody else out there? Oh, George Norris.
I wanna thank Glenn Wetzel. He got me down to the Ohio Theater with Jesus Christ Superstar. It's one of the best plays. It was the 50th anniversary. The same people that wrote the thing at the beginning. They wrote this one and it was a wonderful production. Wonderful production.
All right, good note from you on that. Did anybody else get to see that? All right, those who got to see it, go ahead and throw $1 in. I know my wife went to see it and she thoroughly enjoyed it, so glad everybody had a good time. Any other happy dollars out there? All right, Glenn's got one.
I'm just happy to be here.
You're happy to be there and Peggy's not yelling at you. There's a good thing right there.
We're happy to have you.
All right, we are happy to have you. This weekend, got a big game coming up this weekend. Well, not the Buckeyes, the Browns. How many Browns backers we have out here? All right, if you're not a Browns backer, you gotta throw $1. Well, I get to go to the game, and I think San Francisco is undefeated, so, I come back, if they lose, I'm gonna throw in $5. How's that? I'll get it started. How about some good to you now, huh? Okay. All right, I think I have enough money from everybody. John, you okay there? You got a half a bucket or so? All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Sorry about my absent-mindedness, but we'll get a little better program next time. I love you. Thank you.
Now we're much better.
There we go. Hey, if you clap, throw $1 in. Come on.
It's time, you ready?
Yeah, this had one, appreciate it. I like that.
All right, folks, well, this is like deja vu. It is time for our speaker, and we are lucky to have our very own district governor, Dave Poole, with us today. And so, David Poole was born and raised in Lancaster, Ohio. He is a graduate of Lancaster High School, Ohio Christian University, and Capella University, and holds a bachelor's degree in religion, a master's degree in education, and a PhD in organizational management and leadership. That's incredible. He is an ordained minister with the Churches of Christ and Christian Union. David works full-time as the superintendent and CEO of the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. He also serves as the president of Lancaster City Council and lead pastor at Rushfield Church. David travels around Ohio as a maximum leadership speaker and trainer, and he serves on several boards and committees in his community. David received the Young Professional of the Year Award from the Lancaster Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce in 2012 and was named one of Columbus Business First 40 Under 40 in 2018. David became a Rotarian in 2003 and served as president of the Rotary Club of Lancaster in 2017-18 Rotary year during the club's 100th anniversary. He has held several positions with the club and the district, including assistant governor and Polio Plus World Polio Day chair. He is a current Paul Harris Fellow and Paul Harris Society member, as well as a current 125 Club member and a Polio Society member. David married his wife Perla in 2002. They have 2 children, Samantha 13 and Ethan 9. He prefers orange and red M&Ms, right side Twix, and frozen Reese's peanut butter cups. Please welcome our Rotary District 6690 Governor David Poole.
Thank you all very much. I always like the standing ovation before, because you never know what's going to happen over the next few minutes, but thank you for that, and for the earlier one too. I got 2 today. That might be a record for me. But a joy it is for me to be here with you. I have had a blast over the last several months, traveling around our district, meeting great Rotarians just like you, talking about all of the phenomenal things that are happening both in your club and community, as well as at the district level and the international level as well. And I'll just tell you, the phenomenal things they continue to surprise me. And your club is no different. As I begin out each and every one of these presentations, I always like to take the opportunity to review some of the things that your club is doing, the impact that you're having here locally and around the world to sort of embody our theme for this year of creating hope in the world. And you are certainly doing that. I looked and saw that you are involved in a number of local projects. We heard about some of them already today. Things like the Buddy Boxes, the Dublin Worthington Food Drive, the Dictionary Project. We have a brand new club being started out of your club with the Impact Club, which is a phenomenal thing. Scholarships for international students. The things that you're doing are unbelievable. And I'll just tell you, you are a leader in our district. You have great past leadership as a part of your club. You have great current leadership on our district team as a part of your club. And if you're not familiar with the district, it is rather large. It's Union and Delaware County, all the way south to Jackson and everything east. 58 clubs, 3,000 Rotarians that are working to create hope in the world, put service above self, and be people of action every single day, just like you. And in addition to these things that you are doing right now in your community and around the world, you are also very generous with your dollars, not only for things locally like your bourbon raffle, but listen to these statistics. Last year, your club gave over $11,000 to the Rotary Foundation. That's in addition to whatever else you're doing here locally and raising money for. $11,305 to the Rotary Foundation. And I'll tell you, that's really, really important because are you all a district grant club? You have a district grant this year you're working on? Yeah, and so you get $2,000. You spend $2,000, we give you $2,000. We do that for any club in the district. And the way we get those dollars is through your giving. Your dollars get invested by the Rotary Foundation, and in 3 years, they send 50% of that back to the district so that we can return it back to the clubs through those district grants. And so the annual fund giving that you're doing is important. It's making an impact around the world. And then 3 years later, making an impact right back here in your community. You gave $965 to polio. You had 10 Paul Harris Fellows last year. 4 people who are Paul Harris Society members. That means some of you who are given $1,000 every year are not signed up to be a Paul Harris Society member. So who's your Rotary Foundation chair? Who's your TRF chair here? Yes. So you see him, he'll get you signed up. If you're giving $1,000 every year and you don't have one of these Paul Harris Fellow pins, Paul Harris Society pins, then it's just because you haven't signed the paper, and he'll work that out and get you signed up and ready to go. You had 27 125 club members last year. And that is a phenomenal number for your club. And let me just give you this number. Over your lifetime, you have given $416,118 to the Rotary Foundation. That is a chunk of money in addition, again, to what you're doing here in your club to raise money for other local initiatives. I think it deserves a round of applause. Give yourselves a hand for throwing what you are doing. So as I mentioned, we are people of action. We are here because we place service above self. And this year we're working hard to create hope in the world. It's been said that you can live 40 days without food, 4 days without water, 4 seconds without air, but only 4 minutes without air, but only 4 seconds without hope. We can't live without hope, and as Rotarians, we are creating hope in the world. In your district, our district, District 6690, we have 6 district priorities this year that we are focused in on. And you are already involved in several of these. And this is our challenge, that as I outline each one of these 6 areas over the next few minutes, that you somehow figure out a way for you to commit to doing something in each of these 6 areas this year. We're only a quarter of the way through the year. We still have 3/4 of the way to go. There's plenty of opportunities to connect and do something in these areas. So let me just tell you, the district isn't here to prescribe how you do that. We are here to support clubs as they carry out their mission and the overall mission of Rotary. And so the fun part is figuring out how you're going to be a part of these 6 areas, or how you're going to extend your service if you're already involved in these 6 areas. And so I want to tell you what they are. I want you to try to remember them, write them down, put them in your phone, whatever you can do to keep these things in mind as we move forward. These 6 priority areas flow straight from the Rotary International Plan of Action. And so we are coming alongside as a district. We're asking clubs to come alongside to help us continue to move the overall mission and goals of Rotary International forward. The first one is membership. Membership is so vital and important to what we're doing. It's important to your club. It's important to Rotary International. And the reason why is because we're a service organization. If there aren't people here to do the work, then no service is going to get done. And we have 1.3 million members around the world. And we've had 1.3 million members around the world for the last 20+ years. And you say, how is this possible? When every year, thousands and thousands and thousands of new people are coming into Rotary and becoming members. And the way that it's possible is because that many plus more are going out the back door for many, many reasons. Some people are passing away. Some people are retiring and choosing not to be affiliated with a club anymore. Some people are moving and not being a part of a club as they change locations. Some people have said, for whatever reason, Rotary isn't meeting my expectation or my needs, and so I'm not going to be a member anymore. So we have to figure out not only the front end of how we're going to bring new members in, but what we can do to retain members and keep them as a part of our Rotary clubs. And part of that is enhancing your club experience, whatever that looks like. So whether it's a club meeting, whether it's a social, whether it's a fundraiser, what can you do? Each one of us, what can we do to be more welcoming, to enhance the club service? What can we do to be a part of our district priority right now, our district initiative of each one bring one? This is simple. There are people who are missing from your table. People in your sphere of influence. We talk about impacting the world, and we do, but you have your own little world as well. A sphere of influence that people want to be a part of something, they want to give back to something, and they may just not know what that outlet is. Well, we've got a deal for them, and it's Rotary. And so each one bring one invites you to bring a guest to a club meeting, to a social function, to a fundraiser, and introduce them to Rotary. It's an opportunity to help people see what we're all about, to have some fun, and to get connected with your club. So here's the deal. September, October, and November, the Each One Bring One campaign is happening in our district. The club that brings the most guests, so someone should be recording that. Who's your membership chair? Oh, well, Steve Fairley, very good. So Steve is the person who's keeping track of the number of guests you have, and the total number of guests, September, October, and November per capita. The club with the most wins a $500 social with the district governor. We'll come, we'll set up a time, we'll pay for booze, that's right, we'll pay the booze, we'll pay the food. If you don't want me to come, Fairley will pay the booze and the food. All right, and so, but we want to, and you can bring your guests to that as well, but we want to encourage you to invite people. And if you bring a guest and they become a member right away, you've got another friend, right? You have more than one. Invite someone else. Think about the people who are missing from the table, who can make a contribution and an impact just like you are, and bring them to be a part of Rotary. So what can we do to enhance our overall club experience? What's my role in that? Who's your membership team?
Yeah.
Everyone's hand. Everyone's hand is going to be right. We're all responsible for membership in our club. Steve can't do it himself. We have a committee. They can't do it themselves. It takes all of us. And I hope you come to Rotary and you have fun. That's sort of the 5th part of the 4-way test, right? We have fun in whatever we do. And so why wouldn't someone want to come and be a part of what we're doing? So membership, number one. Number two, club leadership and administration. This is the sort of not sexy part of the important things that we have to do when it comes to managing and leading our clubs. There's no organization like ours that is as successful as ours in the world that turns over its top leadership every single year. Gordon McAnally, Rotary International President, gets a year. David Rule, District Governor, 6690, gets a year. Mr. Russell, Teresa gets a year. Steve got 2 years, that's right. But usually you get a year, right? You just didn't do it right the first time, so you had to do it. But you get a year. And so we have to have a bench of people in order to continue the work of your club forward. So who's your president-elect?
It's not here.
That's all right, but you have one, right? You have a president, you have a president nominee, someone behind him?
Yes.
Excellent, and then here in December, you should be nominating a president nominee designate. You should have another person getting ready to get lined up. This is fantastic. There are some clubs that don't know who their president is as we go into March president-elect training. They have no idea who the president's gonna be a week before that training. And so the fact that you are several deep is fantastic. The fact that you have operating and functioning committees is great. Please don't make, Teresa, please don't make others come and twist your arm to be a part of this, because it really is a ton of fun. And there are a lot of past presidents in here that'll tell you it was a ton of fun. Now, there's some work to it, right? You get out of stuff what you put into it, but it's not a full-time job. I mean, I suppose you could make it one, but it doesn't have to be a full-time job. And so there are a lot of myths that surround this idea of being a Rotary Club president. And one of those myths is it takes up too much time. And we just don't believe that's true, that it doesn't have to be that way. I'm middle-aged now, professional with kids and a family, and district governor just is about a full-time job. But president is a little bit different. You're responsible for this club and moving it forward. And so there's work for sure, but you can manage it. I have confidence that that's true. Many past presidents in here will tell you it's true and help you know how to do it. Secondly, there's this myth, well, there's just too much training. Too much training involved. Do you remember how much required training we had last year? One. That's president-elect training, which happens one weekend in March. It's required. It happens in downtown Columbus. It's the only required thing. Now, there's a lot of other training that you can be a part of, but it's completely optional. And so we think about these things and we realize it's just a myth. The third thing is I'm too new. You have a guest over here, and she may become a Rotary Club member, and watch out, because pretty soon then they're going to jump you into the line for president, right? And so there are people who have been in Rotary for 6 months, 9 months, a year, who can come in and have a phenomenal year leading the club forward as president. So we are doing an event. It's a Zoom meeting with past presidents, a panel of past presidents. This happens in November. And we're going to attempt to dispel some of these myths. And we don't know exactly what we're going to call yet, but it's going to be something like, oh dear Lord, someone asked me to be president of my Rotary Club, please help. And then we're going to offer that out virtually so that you can come and we can dispel some of these myths. And so we have to focus on this. You are focused on it, given the depth of your bench already. I'll encourage you to continue to focus on it as we go forward. So what was the first one? Membership. Club administration and leadership, number 2, right? All right, number 3. Let's talk about mental health. Mental health is a new area of focus for Rotary. It's brand new just this year. And here's what we know. Mental health stigma is high. Mental health awareness is oftentimes low. And what Rotary is attempting to do now is flip that ratio. We want to raise awareness and reduce the stigma of mental health. Now, mental health was an issue prior to the pandemic. It's only gotten worse as a result of, and as we emerge from the pandemic, people who were isolated, people who were lonely, people who were disconnected. We weren't built to be that. We were built to be connected. It's why Rotary works, right? Founded on fellowship for service. And so as we think about this, as we think about mental health, the question becomes, what can you do? Now, you may have a mental health professional or 2 in your club, but mostly we're lay people. We don't know what to do, but there are things you can do. You can have a program where someone came in and talked about the signs of someone who may be having a mental health issue. There's something called mental health first aid. It's an 8-hour training. You can host it for your community. It happens through the state. And they'll come in and they'll teach you how to recognize the signs of mental health issues and to know what to do. Not that you're a counselor, where can I send someone? How can I advise someone as to where they could go if they were having a mental health issue and concern? And the reason that Gordon McAnally, our Rotary International president, is so passionate about this is because he tells a story about his brother. His brother's name is Ian, from Scotland, an unbelievably successful IT professional, beautiful wife, young family, living a life that many would dream of living. And one week he came to the United States, to California, for an IT conference, and while he was there, he took his own life. And Gordon, every day for the last 7 years, reports that he and his family asked the question, what could we have done? What did we miss? If we'd have known just a little bit more, would we have seen the signs, the symptoms, the indication that there was a problem here? And so he is passionate about mental health. And again, we're not talking about how you can do it. Maybe you can go and support a mental health organization in town. You can help do a fundraiser for them. You can volunteer. There are things you can do to get connected to this, both as individual Rotarians and as a club. So the challenge is, how are you going to focus in on the area of mental health this year? I hope you'll accept that challenge. We did Row Talks just a couple of weeks ago. We were focused on mental health. We had some fantastic presentations around it. And that would certainly, we're not just trying to check boxes, but as we ask you to get involved, having a presentation from a mental health organization would certainly help people understand more how they might get involved and what they can do if they saw signs of it. So that's number 3, mental health. Number 1, membership. Number 2, number 3, that's right. Number 4 is peace. We continue to focus in on peace. Rotary was founded on the idea of peaceful fellowship. And across our district this year, we have had multiple clubs plant peace poles in their communities. Now, are you all a peace club? Yeah, so Peace Club is just 2 members, 2 people are on a committee, get paid $30 to become a Peace Club. And then have you dedicated a pole yet? You do a peace pole? So you have an opportunity, it's pretty inexpensive to do, you can get these poles, they have the phrase, "May peace prevail on earth" in 8 different languages around the pole. You get to decide what languages it's in, and then you work with a school, or you work with your local government to plant and dedicate that peace pole as a way of promoting peace in your community and around the world. And so we have a number of ways that you can get involved. Our peace committee at the district level is making an impact around the world. And you're one of the first clubs to hear something that hasn't even been announced yet, that we're letting the Rotary Action Group for Peace announce first, and then we'll announce it in the district more widely. But we were asked, because of our Peace District Committee's work, to become the first ever in the United States Ohio Rotary Action Group for Peace charter. A chapter where we are working with the other 4 districts in Ohio now to help them become peace districts and peace clubs to continue to promote peace. The first one in the United States, and it's being led by Mary Jane Shackelford, past district governor, and Tom Carlisi, and the entire peace committee at the district level. It is a phenomenal thing that we were asked to do this. We continue to make an impact here in our local communities and around the world when it comes to peace. And don't forget this, there are lots of other peace initiatives that we have too. One of them is our youth exchange program, where we send out students from our clubs every year to other countries to learn about their culture, to understand more about them, and to foster and promote peace among our countries. We invite other countries in, and they get housed at Rotary members' houses, host families, for the purpose of promoting peace and helping them have another cultural experience than their just normal home country experience that they have. And I'm just telling you, it's an unbelievable thing to host a student. It's an unbelievable thing to see. I ran into we have in Lancaster a student, she's from, I forget where she's from, But I've not been the greatest Lancaster Rotarian. I've been in my club once this year, by the way. I've been at every other club in between. And so, but she was at the Fairfield County Fair yesterday. So we're out running around and we ran into the exchange student who had never been to a fair before, never experienced something like that. She had what was she saying her favorite thing was? I think it was the funnel cake or something. And so, so this is an movement and it fosters, I don't know if you know this. Not everywhere in the country likes us. They don't know us. They have a particular perception or view of America. And so when we can send kids back and forth, the future leaders of our Rotary clubs, of our communities, and allow them to experience other cultures, we're fostering peace. So if you've never hosted out of your club a student outgoing, or you've never hosted an inbound exchange student, let me challenge you to consider it. You're going to have a ton of fun doing it, and it's a great opportunity to get involved and to promote peace. So that's 4. 1,
Membership.
2,
Leadership.
3, 4, peace. That's right. 5 is empowering girls. Empowering girls. Empowering girls. Yes, girls. Girls. So what we're trying to do here is we think about empowering girls is something happens. I have a 13-year-old, she's almost 14. And there's statistical evidence that between the ages of 10 and 14, the confidence of girls drops precipitously off the cliff. All of a sudden, girls who perform at a high level are in AP classes at school, who may even be in a leadership position in their school, in sports or in music or in art, believe that they do not have the skills available to them to pursue their dream job, whatever that might be. And this lack of confidence that develops in those preteen and teen years doesn't come back when they graduate high school, it doesn't come back when they graduate college, it doesn't come back in their 20s and 30s. And so the question is, what role do we have as Rotarians? Rotarians who have now had our first ever female international president, and then your president-elect, your president next year will be a female as well, the second time ever in our plus 100 history. It's a phenomenal thing. You got Peggy over here, only one of 4 district governors in our district in its history to be a female. And so what can we do to empower girls and provide to them the confidence they need to grow up and be able to leap forward and take us into the future? And so there are opportunities, there are unbelievable organizations that are doing work in this space. Again, it could be a program, it could be some sort of support, it could be working in the schools, it could be mentorship. What can we do? Because I think we have a role to play in empowering girls so that they grow up to become strong women who are leading us forward into the future. And so that's number 5. Membership, leadership,
Peace. Empowering girls.
that's right. And here's the last one, polio. You heard that I was World Polio Day Chair and our overall district polio plus chair for several years before I became district governor. I'm passionate about polio, and we really are so very close. There are now 8 cases, just 8 cases in the world. Afghanistan and Pakistan remain endemic. It's been in these 2 countries for a really long time. And I get that there's some polio fatigue out there. We've been at this for more than 30 years. But more than 30 years ago, we made a promise to the children of the world that we were going to eradicate this disease from the face of the earth. And back then, when thousands of kids every day were contracting polio all around the world, we now have but 8 cases total for this entire calendar year. And it's because of you. It's because of you and Rotarians just like you, who have invested their time, their money. Some people who have given their life. People who have gone out into countries and villages where there is violence to vaccinate kids have died in the work of eradicating polio. And when we do it, it will only be the second time in the history of our world that a disease has been eradicated from the face of our earth. And so we can't let off the gas pedal. We cannot stop. We have to continue forward. And as we were preparing for our year as district governor and a year as president of clubs, I asked everyone a question. If there was just one thing that you could get done in your year, that when you come to June 30th and everything's done, you could look back and say, that was a successful year. Every president and every club in our district has a different thing. And then I said, well, I should ask myself the same question. And the answer is polio. We're going to raise this year $250,000, $250,000 for polio from our district. It's never been done since the Polio Plus initiative started back in the 80s. We typically raise about $140,000 or $150,000 in polio every year. We're going to do $250,000 this year. We cannot do it alone. We need your help. Now, I heard that invoices have 125 club on them, but if you haven't given or if you want to give again, because that's what we're asking. You've never given to polio, just do something this year. $50 or $100. If you've given and you've already given, it was just a part of your dues and make your company pay that, maybe you want to personally get involved. On your table, there are options to give. You can give a $125 check to your treasurer, you'll do the paperwork, send it off. $100 to the annual fund, $25 to polio, you become a 125 club member. Or a ×2 125 club member this year. You can go to that link, you can click that QR code, you can take it to a website where you can become a 125 club member very, very easily online. However you decide to do it, we're encouraging you to take action and to help us. We are losing the generation that had polio. There are kids who are growing up right now who will never know someone who had wild polio virus. Because here in America, it's been eradicating for so long that that generation is now passing away. There are people who don't understand that when their kids get vaccinated when they're very young, that it includes the polio vaccine. It's a part of that regimen. Every kid born today in the world has to be vaccinated for us to keep this moving forward. Every kid that's born tomorrow in the world has to be vaccinated. And so the work is coming close to an end, but it is not done yet. We're doing monitoring in 100+ countries around the world to ensure that healthcare organizations are built and have the ability to continue to vaccinate, that governments are supporting this initiative, because it truly is a plane ride away. And if we were to stop vaccinating, we would see it come back, and all of the work we've done over the last 3 decades would be lost. And so we have to finish the job. We can't do it alone. We're so thankful. I mentioned your club did about $965 or $970 in polio last year. The goal for every club this year is $2,000. So what is it that your club can do as individual members give, or as you have a club fundraiser, in order to get up to $2,000 to support our polio efforts? It really will make a difference. We believe in the next 3 years, 3 calendar years, 24, 25, 26, that we can see 0 cases of polio in the world. And you have to be polio free for 3 years in order to be declared a polio free country. So we've got work to do, but we can get there. Rotary is committed to raising $50 million every year to eradicate polio. When we raise that $50 million, we get $100 million from Bill and Melinda Gates. And so you get a 2-to-1 match on every dollar you give, because we've never missed it. We've never not given the $50 million. They closed a couple times, but we've always crossed the finish line by June 30th and gotten the $100 million from the Gates Foundation. And so please consider how you might help us. Please consider how you might take action. Put service above self and support our polio efforts to help us achieve our goal of $250,000 in our district this year. It's been said that hope has 2 sisters, anger and courage. Anger at the way things are. Anger at the injustices in the world, at the disparities that we see. At the sickness, at war, at the things that we feel like maybe we can't control or have any impact on. But then courage, the courage to take action, the courage to do something about it. And as people of action, I know that together we continue to see a world where people will unite to take action and create lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. I hope that you will join us in these 6 areas. It's been such a joy for me to be with you today. I'll be happy to stay around and answer any questions. We have a few minutes, but thank you very much for listening. That's definitely a record. I appreciate it very much. Anyone have a question I can answer in the next 4 or 5 minutes before we go? Yes, sir.
You said there was a polio society in addition to.
Listen, that's fantastic. So what we believe has the potential to be the shortest recognition program in the history of Rotary, the Polio Society. So it's this little pin right here under my polio pin. If you commit to $100 sustaining, $100 a year, now listen. You know, Price Finley used to talk about this a lot. The Rotary police are underfunded. They're gone. There's no one out there coming to you and being like, hey, you promised $100. We haven't seen it this year. No one's doing that. But if you sign up and say, I'm gonna give $100 every year of polio until the disease is eradicated from the face of this earth, you become a Polio Society member, you get a nifty little pin, and you'll be recognized across our district as a leader in our eradication efforts. And so it's $100 every year sustaining till we get it gone, and the pin will come to you. So again, if you're interested, you see me, we'll get your contact information, get you signed up, and get your pin to you. But you can join the Polio Society very easily with that $100 donation. Thank you for asking. Yes, sir.
So are there clubs in the district that are showing exceptional ability in each of those goal areas?
That's a great question, yeah. There are clubs in our district that are working in each of those areas and trying to meet goals in them, whether it's the Each One Bring One campaign or their polio support. We have clubs that are committed to peace at a very high level and doing many things in that area, whether it's empowering girls or mental health. There are clubs, some clubs are focused in on all of those areas. There are some clubs who are saying, now, wasn't in our plan this year to do this, but, we can focus in these areas. Our goal is to try to get every club to do something in all 6. When you do that, your club, we have the presidential citation, the Rotary citation, that if you meet at half of the number of goals that Rotary International asks you to meet that your president sets, then you get the Rotary citation at the end of the year. You now have a district citation. So when you participate in these 6 areas, just doing something in each one, then you can become a district champion and you'll get the district citation at the end of the year as well. And so there are clubs doing phenomenal things in multiples of those. It really just depends on maybe what that club's passionate about, what they're planning for, what they're already doing. I know you guys are already doing a lot, and by the way, Socktober is a fantastic event and opportunity as we do service. And the great thing about Socktober stays right here. So you donate socks, they stay right here in your community. We're not taking them anywhere, someplace else. You donate them out to whatever organization you want. And the club that collects the most socks, not per capita, just the most pair of socks in the district, win a pair of theme socks this year for every single member of your club. Now, I don't have the theme socks on, but let me tell you, they are hot. I mean, these are some hot socks. You want them. And so they're clean, they're new. I'm not like recycling them right now. And so, if your club happens to be one of the most number of socks, every one of your members is going to get sent a pair of 23, 24 theme socks. And so I hope that you will get behind Socktober. It's a fantastic service project. It's an easy service project, and it really can make a significant difference. Medical professionals will tell you that one of the main reasons they see homeless people in the ER is because of foot issues. They don't have clean socks. They do not have shoes that fit. And so we can, again, be a part of the solution. And it's as simple as donating socks out to your homeless shelters or the Salvation Army or some other organization that's working with homeless folks in your community. So I hope you'll get behind it. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Yes.
In PETS, we always have all the districts, they come up with one project we've won several times. Which one is it this year?
The trophy's in my trunk, Peggy. I should have brought it in. Yes, I claim that trophy. And so what Peggy's talking about is at our president-elect training seminar, which is the one required event for presidents-elect every single year. We do a project last year, and here's a great way. So you say, oh, empowering girls, how can I get behind that? Here's a way you can get behind empowering girls that's really easy. You may have done it last year. In March, our pets project, and we used our entire district and our clubs to be a part of this, was to collect feminine hygiene products during what we call Wins for Women during March Madness. And here's the thing about this, there is a huge gap, particularly for young girls, young women, in accessing personal hygiene products, personal feminine products. And so we started to collect these, and our district collected the most. All of our clubs together combined collected the most in the district, and we won the trophy. But the beneficiaries were the young women who were getting access to these supplies that they needed. And listen to what happened. Listen to the power of Rotary. I believe this to be a true story. We followed the four-way test. It was told me by a Rotarian, so I believe it to be true. Someone from the governor's office, or that had influence with the governor, or had influence with the legislature, was at Pets last year. Maybe it's their job, I don't know. And they participated in our Wins for Women project that was an Ohio statewide project to collect feminine hygiene products for girls and women. And they went and influenced the legislature, and the governor's bill that he just signed 2 months ago goes into effect right now, goes into effect October 1st. The statewide budget now mandates every school provide these supplies for free in their schools. Your school districts right here are now required to provide feminine hygiene products to young girls in the schools who may not have had access to them before. And it's because of Rotary. It's because someone saw that project and influenced someone to get it into the statewide budget. And now we've addressed a significant issue that was occurring with young women in our schools. That's the power of Rotary. We'll be doing Wins for Women again in March, and that's a fantastic and easy way to be a part of empowering girls and the Empowering Girls initiative that we have by donating out feminine hygiene products to those who do not have access to it. So thanks for asking. Now, that almost answered your question. This year, they're working on the project. I don't know that they know what it is yet. We've done the My Very Own Blanket for a few years. We did the feminine hygiene products last year. Listen, I'm done. My year's planned. Our presidents are doing their thing. So this is President-elect Gary's problem. And the other 4 district governors in Ohio, and they're working to figure out what their project's going to be. If it's going to be a project that isn't just bring things to the event, but it includes all the clubs, information on how to happen. Anyone else? We're about that time.
Thank you very much. That was very informative. And or we have a raffle.
You. Daily raffle is $29. And Charlie's gonna pick up tickets for the meeting. All right. And the last 4 digits are 2, 3, 5, 6.
No.
2, 3, 5, 6.
2, 3, 5, 6.
Oh, look at that.
Yes, they do. Thank you very much.
Excellent. What did you say, Mike? I said, I will donate that for you.
Hey.
And the large spot is $195. If I remember, another winner on that. And the last 4 digits are 2, 3, 1, 5.
Oh,
Peggy.
Hey, excellent. Come on, baby. No way. We don't want
Okay, gloves. Thank you. And now we will do the four-way test. Okay, first of the things we think, say, or do. Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it get well in our friendships?
fourth,
Will it be better? All concerned.
and does anybody remember the fifth?
Have fun.
There you go. Don't forget your socks next week, please. Ellen, we sat on the plane behind the.
Well. So you're fired. Yeah. No. I mean, very good. What they. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. I think they have.
Well, they sure do. Yes. Yeah, we got one in Surrey, we got two in Surrey. We got-
Yeah, I lose.
Athens is New York City, but things all over the. They're bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this your first year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out.
You're taking the owl. And then, what's that? Do you want it? Okay. Okay.